Hello guys, welcome to another one of my Hearthstone videos here. I'm making this video here because Dank Kush, I hope I'm pronouncing that correct, asked me for a level 10 Mage deck tutorial. And I would absolutely love to help out with that. Your comment was a little sparse on information. It's a little hard to design a deck without knowing what you want to use it for. But I'm assuming that if you have a level 10 mage, then you're going to be wanting it to defeat the expert AIs with to get... There is a reward for completing the battles against all of the expert AIs, so that is the first thing I would do if you have done the basic ones. And if not, you're probably going to be playing casual or low-end ranked mode. That's what I'm assuming. So please do leave a comment and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm also going to assume that you have no common cards, rare cards, epics or legendaries. I do know you get like free card packs and you can do your dailies, but without having any more to work on really than a level 10 tutorial, I'm just going to be focusing on basic cards. So if you want to play mage and you want to play basic cards, this is pretty much what you have in your collection. And there are some very cool options. I do believe that the mage is probably the strongest class that you can be playing. So you're going to be wanting some big bodies to take out your opponent with. You're going to want some spells to control the game with, and then you're going to be wanting some card draw. So I'm just definitely, I mean, Frostbolt is like must have, and so is Arcane Intellect. And if we're speaking basic cards, I would at least take the Fireball, perhaps the Poli. Really depends on what kind of deck we're making. The Water Elemental definitely, maybe the Flame Strike. I'm going to put in 2 now. We may need 1 or 0, but we'll look into that. So I'm also going to assume that you have all the other basic cards. So if you haven't played the other classes, you may not have these, but I'm counting on that for this deck tutorial. So if you don't have the ones I use, and you can't really level up the other classes, then let me know what I have to work with, and we will take it from there. So you pretty much want to be able to play something at at every turn in the game. You may be able to just skip turn 1. There aren't that many cool basic 1-drops. The Arcane Missiles is super cool, but you do want to use that to get rid of minions and not really deal face damage with it. And the Mirror Image, it's super cool, but for more themed battles, I would say. So to start with, we're going to disregard those and pretty much just go a little forward here. You want to think about, are you going offensive or defensive, and do you have any special classes in mind? When I started, I always had 2 Acidic Swamp Oozes in the deck because they take out weapons. They're pretty annoying when you're just starting. If you want to go offensive, you can go with the Bloodfen Raptor. Does 3 attack and dies easy. If you want to go more defensive, you can go with the River Crocodilist. Only 2 attack, 3 health. So if you're up against a weapon class, you probably want to take the 3-2 because they're going to weapon into it most likely, and then they'll take more damage. The 3-2 can just get a single backstab from the rogue, so that's a little annoying. The 3-2 may also just be shot twice by the mage, but that's a good thing really. So depending on how you want to play things, the Murloc Tidehunter can be pretty cool to play. It's effectively a 3-2 also, for 2 mana, so you can use that to pretty much flood the board. But what I would do is put in the Novice Engineer for card draw, because you want to win the game with more minions that are better than this. Yeah, that's how I think about it anyway. So again, depending on what you're up against, you definitely want to put in your Chillwind Yeti. That's really one of those win cards that are super efficient. Also taking the Wolf Rider for like charging and doing 3 damage. The Dragonling mechanic here is like a 4/5 also for 4 mana, just splits into 2 bodies. So it's like the same as the Yeti, making it really, really good. The Gnomish Inventor, again, it's a body, and it allows you to draw a card so that you will be able to keep up all the time. If you're playing against somebody else with basic cards that isn't using card draw, you'll be able to put something down that you can clash into the opponent's minions with, keep the control of the board, and get a new card to play. You may even get a Frostbolt that you can take out another minion with and just really be stronger on the board. The Sentient Shieldmaster is another one of those kind of win cards, so that's, you definitely want that in if you're playing just basic cards. So moving up, things get a little harder. You can use like the Gurubashi here. It's super cool as a mage because you can shoot it, and then it's actually a 5/6 if you shoot it with your hero power, but it's not that fun to play in the end game, and you really need some kind of board control in order to use it efficiently. The Stormspike Commando can be really nasty in basic games because you can clear out a lot of minions with it. Like if your opponent pops down 2 weak minions, you can shoot one of them, or you can shoot something with full health and, for instance, use your Gnomish Inventor to deal the other damage. So that's also one of those minions I really like having. Boulder Fist is like the crazy one. That's the big gun you pop down in the end game where your opponent has been using all their things and they may not have any card draw to keep up with the game. Then you pop down a Boulder Fist and it's like, what do you want to do? Now I win. The way that I have thought about this deck here, you don't really have that much to do in the early game. You have a lot of stuff going at round 4, so that's pretty bad. I would have put in like a Reckless Rocketeer so that you can charge in and deal those 5 damage as well if your opponent has no taunt. So I'm thinking put in one of these, remove a Flame Strike like that. And what we want now is we want some low cost stuff. We want something that allows us to win in the early game, and something that we can draw, like when we play a Novice Engineer, if we draw it on like turn 4 or 6 and be able to play it. So that's pretty much what we're at now. So we have 4 cards left that we can put in, and yeah, there are really a lot of cool options here. I like playing with the Blue Guild because it's like charges in and removes a minion, and it works very nicely with the Stormspike Commander. You shoot something for 2, you launch in your Blue Guild for 2, and then it dies. Or you trade in with your Gnomish Inventor, and you deal 2 damage. So I kind of like that really. And so depending on like your mentality, how you want to play it, you can choose to go with Arcane Missiles, you can choose to go with Mirror Image, or you can choose to go with the Acidic Swamp Ooze. So if you're playing against the expert AIs in practice mode, to complete that quest, select the card from here that matches up with whatever match you're up against. If it's a weapon class, you want the Acidic Swamp Ooze, because then you're going to be able to remove the weapon pretty easily. So I'm just going to be doing that here. So I'm not sure this is what the idea behind the deck was, but I'm going to go in with it now. And so we're going practice, we're going expert, and I popped in the Acidic Swamp Ooze, meaning that I want to go up against, whoops, there we have it. I want to go in against a weapon class with the way I designed this. So we're just going to be taking the warrior here. And yeah, let's take the deck for a spin and see how it works. Perhaps it's like completely bad, but I have a feeling that this is going to be pretty good. It has been a while really since I battled these expert AIs. I know they've gotten a lot better since when I started playing the game.
You asked for it.
So, sorry about that. Normally you don't really want this guy from the start, but this is a basic battle deck, so we're just keeping it so that we have something to play on turn 2. So we have our turn 2 play, turn 3 play, we're going to draw into more stuff, we're going to clash. That's pretty cool. So we have a lot of options here, removal, shooting, a lot of things that we can use to pretty much control the game with. But that there was pretty much worst case scenario for us. We're going to have to, I think we're actually going to just pop this down to cycle our deck and draw our important stuff. And then next turn we can choose to ride into it with the Wolf Rider, or we can use the Frostbolt. So that's really what it comes down to. We also have another option, that's just to take the damage. But what I want to do is go like this, get another card, and pretty much allows us to shoot and clash next turn. If we're lucky, the AI clashes here, which the AI didn't, so that was super annoying. But look what we got here. We got one of these guys, and these are like the they're like lifesavers in this situation, because we can go in and remove that here. It's just a mini clashing spell really, unless the opponent has taunt. The frothing is super annoying, but the Frostbolt can deal with that. I'm getting a little lag here, but the animation is cool. And we could choose to go 1 face damage or get rid of it now, and I'm just cleaning it up. So what actually happened here is that the opponent played 2 cards and dealt damage to us. We also played cards, but we got card draws at the same time, so we actually did better. So here we can choose to shoot, but we're just going to not take that much more damage, and start to turn the game around now. Hopefully we're working towards Flame Strike. Just like that.
One shot, one kill.
So very nice, very nice. So what we're going to do here is pat down this guy. If our opponent wants to get rid of it, it's going to take a clash from the minion, from the weapon, and then our opponent won't have this stuff here. If they decide to let this live and just go face, we're really lucky. That's because then we can go Flame Strike next turn, and then we manage to turn the game around. Our opponent has 3 cards in hand, no minions on the table, and we have the whole wild world under our control. So that's really, yes, we have low life, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. So opponent going face time there. May seem like a problem, but it's not. We're going to remove this with a fireball. Going to put this in for more board presence. Just like that. So now the opponent should clash here, and it does, which is super good for us. And this is where one of our other very cool things come into play. Our opponent can't really do much now, they have no cards, and we can pop this down, get even more presence on the board, and clash back in here. So now we have 8 damage on the table, a lot of cards in hand, we can draw more, we can charge in, we can shoot, we can put a big body down. None of this is a problem for us really. So 1 card left there, no cards left, and look at what we have. We have Crazy Pants. So we're going to put in the big body here because both executes have been used, meaning that our opponent can't remove this minion. It's like impossible now, so we're just filling up. Next turn we can pop down a taunting minion so that nothing can charge in our face. So it's all good all the time. So pop in our taunt, shoot this, really keep our card advantage so that if anything happens we can deal with it. We can charge into it, deal 5 damage, we can shoot it, deal 6 damage, we can deal 2 damage, remove a weapon. A lot of options, and we're getting even more now because of that little guy. So if we see a weapon now on our opponent, we can destroy it, we can freeze our opponent, we can do anything we want now. So depending on like how you want to play a game like this, you can put down more cards. I'm a little more on the safe side. I don't know if the Innkeeper has a Brawl, and Brawl is a spell that destroys all minions except one that is randomly selected. So just in case the opponent can draw that, I'm not putting any minions down here. We do have lethal. We also have lethal on hand, so we are in a very good position. We have low life, but that's really, this deck is designed to turn around the game with card draws, with minions and spells that can remove minions while you stay alive and win the game like that. So this is one way for you to make a basic mage deck, a level 10 mage deck. And yes, this was just a battle against the Innkeeper here, and it was just about the expert warrior here. But let's go back into the deck and let's make a mirror match. So let's go up against another mage. So we go into our level 10 mage deck here, and we decide we don't really need the Acidic Swamp Ooze against another mage. What we really risk against the mage, the way I'm thinking anyway, is the same as us big minions or a floody deck. So we can go with Arcane Explosion to clear low stuff. It's going to allow us to deal 1 damage to all the opponent's minions, and we can shoot them with our minions. So it's like a cheap spell that allows for that. We could go with the Arcane Missiles, a little more random, but it's cheaper. Or we could go with the defensive stuff here, but it's going to allow us to last until the end game, where we can really do the crazy stuff. So that's also an option. You really need to pick the things that you think work out the best for you. I'm thinking, let's go with 2 mirrors, because that, if we, no matter when we draw them, it will possibly buy us some time to get a chance to change the game again. So let's just do that and see how it works. There are no guarantees, but did I select expert? Yeah, practice expert. Goodie. Let's see how it works out in a mage versus mage battle. Now the opponent here has rare stuff, I think, so it's it can be a little tough.
You asked for it. Magic will tear you apart.
This is actually very nice, because this this is a power minion. I wouldn't keep this start in ranked mode, but then again I probably wouldn't have the novice engineer. But I have been playing with that actually when I ranked my mage up in beta. I did play with it. So. Right, spell damage. Good times. So again, options. If we put down this one, our opponent is very likely to shoot it and play nothing in this turn and keep the minion. And that's a good thing, because then next turn we have a chance to put down something bigger if we have a 3-drop, which we don't. But we don't really see any benefit from the spell damage, so that's pretty much a win anyway. So now we can choose again, do we want to draw cards and get more options, or do we want to remove the minion? This minion is not that scary, so I'm just going to draw cards. But again, I don't know what my opponent has, so it could be really scary.
We have many secrets.
Wow, it's a secret deck. That's a little bad, actually. That's a little bad. So let's start out by checking for counterspell. Not a mirror entity is what I meant. Not a mirror entity. So we want to remove the biggest body, the biggest damage, the most threat. So we have Ice Block, Ice Barrier, Spellbender, and Counterspell left that it could be. But it's very nice to know that it isn't a mirror. So I'm going to put down this guy here. Then we're going to check for the counterspell. It was a counter spell, and it's much better not to get two taunting minions than it is to not be able to use your fireball or frostbolt. Wow, so we're up against double spell damage here. That's pretty crazy. We're going to clash in here. We're going to deal 3 damage to that and shoot it. And that just leaves us with 2 mana we can't really use. We could have kept it alive and played Ascension. That might have been a better idea, but without really knowing if our opponent had something crazy spell-wise, I think this was like the better option. Yeah, this is kind of cool. I'm going to charge in with this, and I'm not going to remove that. I'm going to deal face damage with it and see how the opponent responds. Is it going to gamble a 5/5 minion? No, it's not. That was so lucky for us, really. So crazy lucky. So, we can't really use Flame Strike because we can't shoot, but that's okay. What we can do is take out one of these, and we can pop down Taunt, and then go a little face here. So if the opponent has a Flame Strike, it's really bad news. If not, they can only shoot one of these, unless they have Arcane Explosions. That's actually the spell we were talking about. Right, decisions. So, right now I want to get rid of stuff. That's really because we are pretty wounded. But at the same time we're moving into a very good spot for us because we have our high cost minions.
We have many secrets.
Okay. We don't have that many secrets apparently. Was he coming now? No? Goody. So we definitely want Taunt. And I'm thinking we want a really big body now. So we're going to pop down this one. And we don't want to give our opponent 2 cheap spells really. That was really rude, but oh. Okay, that was really rude. So, let's see. Not a counter spell this time. Let's see if it's a mirror. We're popping this down, checking for the mirror. Okay. And going like this. So this is going to be a very nasty battle. Looks like we're going to be losing this one. Yeah. 2 shots left, 1 shot left, so this was a losing battle. There is no way we're going to win this. But points for trying. Yeah, I don't really see any cards. I mean, even the mirror couldn't really save us now, so it's pretty pointless. But I mean, this is there is RNG in this stuff. Let's hope it just shoots us. Goody. It's not a trolling innkeeper. So, of course I would have really enjoyed going in and just defeating the innkeeper here, but let's not let us scare away by this one loss. Now we know what kind of deck we're up against, and that really that helps out a little. We're up against a secret deck with Arcane Explosion in it, meaning that having low health minions may just trigger it.
You asked for it. My magic
Sorry about that,
will tear
just had to
you
cough there.
apart.
So, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. Going to keep this to clash into something. It's not really meant as a minion to play against a mage because it's just going to get that one shot or an arcane explosion, but it's very nice to clear out something with. Like for instance this guy here. But now that I know how aggressive this deck is, I would actually rather just get rid of it right away like that. And this is like the ideal situation for us because we're going to be trading this for that. That's a very good deal. So if we're lucky, our opponent is going to be running lower on cards. No? Yeah, that was a boo-hoo thing. So let's try again. Going to shoot it, and that's preparing, or hoping to be able to draw that bluegill. Really. Let's hope it's a nice block or something. I didn't really get to find out last time what kind of stuff there was in here. Go away with... No, I wanted to take the Wolf Rider. I wanted to take the Wolf Rider and charge into that, but my game lagged. So that was really bad, man. Wow, that sucked. Wow. This is a super aggressive deck we're up against. It's pretty crazy, really. But this here was actually very, very good. Can get that away, and we can get that away. And what I'm hoping now is that our opponent is going to be behind on the card draw, because this deck that we're playing is designed to feed us a lot of cards. Oh, that's like one of my favorite cards in the whole world. I really love that. But so if we don't see a polymorph, we're in a pretty good situation here because we're putting a big body down. So our opponent can't really buff it that much. And this here right now, this is a very good... that was super stupid, man. This is a good time for us to go Flame Strike. But before going Flame Strike, I want to see what we're up against. Is it another mirror? No. Is it a counter spell? No. Alrighty. Then we're just gonna pick these aside. Could be a duplicate. I don't know if they're running with that. No.
Someday I'll be just like you.
So, very nice. So, let's hope for the mirror once again here. And let's just do the charging thing. And get rid of that. Pop this one down. So, what is the worst thing that could happen now? The worst thing that could happen, and we always need to think about that, is Vaporize. Vaporize takes out one of our attacking minions. So we're going to attack with the minion we like the least first, and that's the 3/3 and not the 6/6. So, that's what happens. Worst case scenario. So, now we are in a good shape again here. We have some high... But anyway, that was our opponent's play. Nothing else to do. And that really just allows us to pretty much do the win thing here. Play another one. There is no mage card that deals 13 damage. The best you can do is 10 with the Pyro, which is an epic. And if we see it in this battle, it's super unfair. So we could expect to see another. So I'm going to test for counterspell first. So now I know it's not a Vaporize. I can go down with another big body here and just shoot. I'm keeping my 12 points of damage in fireballs on the hand, just in case. Again, minion comes down, another minion comes down, nothing that our opponent can do about it. If we did not have lethal, we could flame strike, we could send and shoot, so many options, but we do have lethal, so there is really no reason to toy much more around with it. But so 1-1 against the Innkeeper, but it does help to know what you're up against, really, especially when deciding what starting cards to take. So I do hope that this was usable in regards to making a level 10 mage deck. I would love to hear if this was what you hope to see anyway, so that I can make a new video if you wanted something else, if you had something else in mind. Also, if you have like specific cards you want to use in the deck that you have gotten in card packs and stuff like that, then please do let me know. As always, and that's to everyone looking and checking out my videos, thank you guys very much for watching. As always, please do leave a comment, leave a sub, leave a subscribe, let me know what you guys think, but most importantly, thank you very much for watching.